everyone, it's June 28, 2025, and I was planning to come to the beach to give you a message, but then felt this morning to go to where I launched my kayak, um, and I was worried about the no-see-ums, these little bugs. They're here too, but they're with breeze, it kind of keeps them away. But I trusted. I went there. Okay, it's my happy place. I'm happy to go there. And but I just didn't feel it when I got there. So I went about a block to turn around, and I see this guy that I know. And every time we see each other, we end up getting in these deep conversations. He's a writer too, spiritual, all that. And he said something to me. He was asking what I was doing. He sees my tripod there, and he was talking about a project he's working on, and how he was really learning that people want to hear what they want to hear, not what they need to hear, and what they want in life, not what they need in life. And it's so true, I said that one sentence was so profound, And then I was thinking, a lot of what I bring to you increasingly so are things that no one wants to hear. Honestly, I don't want to share it, but I feel it's my duty, And anyways, but today I'm hoping you'll want to hear this and need to hear this, okay? It's my opinion, it's my experience, but it's definitely meant to be shared. And so I about a block later, what do I see but a beautiful little doe? Hopefully his mother wasn't far away, but it was just like a sign. It was just like this blessed. I needed to start out with that. And by the way, he was swatting the no-see-ums the whole time, but here, with a little breeze, it helps. But you'll see me doing this too, because it is so humid. So forgive me. Okay, here we go. I'm excited to bring this message during these absolute crazy times that we're in. Call it the rapture, call it the ascension, call it the solar flash, call it our ultimate salvation. However you want to define it. Do you believe that a big event is coming soon? So I had talked about this last year where, divine intervention's happening all the time, but we may not be aware. We're usually not aware, right? But I said in 2025, something really big is going to happen, and it's going to be divine intervention that's unmistakable, okay? And I was thinking in terms of what I'm going to explain. I don't think I got into detail then, but just that something, like a Red Sea moment, something huge. And that day, if you may recall me sharing this, two people who have huge audiences said the same thing. And I heard that after I was feeling that and sharing that. So I thought, okay, this is how the highest of the high often work, in my opinion, okay? They give us these messages to many that are going to spread it, It's the same message. And so then it's validation, it's validation of what you're feeling. All these other people are getting it at the same time, okay? So that was about a year ago, and ever since, the signs have become ever more clear. And today I'm going to share a new sign that I'm so excited to share with you. Again, on this same thing of our being saved. Now, ever since 2001, I've been having these signs that we will be saved. I'm just going to really briefly share for those of you who don't know. Most of you do. My story since 2001, of being saved, these synchronicities telling us that we will be saved. And all these signs started back in January 2001 when I saved that Chihuahua after running out of gas at the biggest interchange in New Mexico called the Big I, letter I, but as in Eye of God. And I saved this frightened Chihuahua, but right before a truck with a huge image of Christ on the cross went by. I mean, incredible. And then I'm going to mention the 3 big signs, but there's been so many more, and they've repeated over the years. I've told you I've had the Chihuahua signs, and then when I was writing I Can See Clearly Now, in 2007, I had all these signs with the Titanic, okay? And the message was, even though it feels like we're sinking, which is a collective, which we are, we will be saved. We will be saved. And what was coupled with the Titanic signs? The unsinkable Molly Brown, the signs about her, unbelievable. Again, continuing over years, repeating the same message. A couple years ago when I was guided to go to the water, get in the water, and I felt Christ's presence and felt he was re-baptizing me. I felt to put my head back and get re-baptized, okay? And I was so blissed out from that experience and being in his presence that I ended up getting caught in a riptide, totally unknowingly, and was gently saved by 5 lifeguards. Okay, and then I've shared since then the signs about that have continued, okay? So this is what happened on June 14th, just recently, 2 weeks ago. And I was, every morning it's my thing. I go to the water at dawn or a little later to witness the sunrise, number 1, to get my exercise, and it's also my social hour. And I take thousands of pictures. Since I've been here of the sunrise. In fact, I think I'll add some pictures at the end just to share some of the beauty here. But I'm always taking pictures, and those of you who know me as an amateur photographer, I never ever edit the photos. I don't use filters. I don't mess with anything other straightening or cropping, and unless very rarely a black and white, or once I use sepia, the color sepia, to show people a face in a cloud to help define it. So on this morning I was taking these pictures, okay, and then I felt to take a picture of the sunrise by the lifeguard stand, because the lifeguard stand has been a symbol since being saved by those 5 lifeguards, of a symbol of being saved, okay? And in fact, you may recall in past videos that one where I tell the truth, the tough truths about tea. I was guided to park here and then plant the tripod here because this symbol needed to be behind me the whole time. When I was guided to go to Siesta Key to share that powerful 1-minute prayer, so I was guided to park here, and it's a massive beach, but I parked right where I needed to because I take my tripod and I go, and there's the yellow lifeguard stand. So I thought of that as I went to the lifeguards. The lifeguard stands have been out since Memorial Day, so I thought I'm gonna get a picture. But as soon as I go there, I had my iPhone to take the picture, okay? Click the photo back on, the photo app, and it's like white, like overexposed, right? And I'm like, what? Like I kept clicking it and getting in and out of the app, and it wouldn't change. And then I realized, oh my gosh, what is the one thing showing? The lifeguard stand. In other words, bringing attention to the symbol that we will be saved. That had to be divine intervention. It just had to be, because after I took that picture, then it was working fine. So I'll show you in my photo library, you'll see the picture was fine, and then overexposed as soon as I went to the lifeguard stand trying to take a picture, and then it was fine again. So I can't even see the viewfinder. It's so bright. So that was exciting. Okay, that's when I was feeling, because I was feeling another video coming up, but there was something that needed to happen, and I thought that was it. But then 12 days later, which was 2 days ago, I again taking pictures of the sunrise. It was an extremely stunning sunrise. Here are some pictures. And then I saw this stunning formation above the sun, okay, like through the light coming through the clouds, and I zoomed in to take a picture, and then I thought, oh, I want to go walk over by one of the lifeguard stands to get it in there. I just felt guided to do that, right? So I did that and took the picture. I was so happy with it, and then I realized later that it looks like an exclamation point. Again, bringing attention to the message that we will be saved. Oh, that was just a great morning. Such a great morning. Now remember, I've shared my dreams about rapture-like, ascension-like dreams before, where I was plucked out away from danger. That the most profound one, the first one, was before I even knew that Florida was a possibility in early 2021, because I moved here in May of 21, and didn't know I was going to be by the water, okay? And here I have this dream of this tidal wave, and this huge tidal wave, and I was with all these people, and everyone was scared that was it, you know? And I just had felt such calm, and then was plucked out in a way. We all were. In both my dreams, we were all saved. Me and the other one, it was just me and this truther guy that was, I won't get into it again, but basically we were saved too, but it was life-threatening. And then, and you know, since then, like I see, there are millions of people having these rapture-like dreams. You know, I mean, if you're real religious, you tend to see it as rapture. I mean, frankly, I see it as, I'm not real religious, but I see it as a rapture. I see it rapture-like. How are we going to get to our new earth with all this devastation and calamities going on in the world? Total attack by, how is that going to happen unless we are somehow plucked out? Something big has to happen. So I hope this is what you want to hear. I welcome it. Honestly, the less attached we are to this 3D earth that's going bad real quick, okay, the 3D, the less attached we are, the better off we will be as we move through these times. Only God knows the timing. I feel it has to be fairly, very soon, because these are really crazy times. You know, I I search the truth every single day, many hours every day, 7 days a week. And yet I'm still, people see me out, I'm smiling, I'm loving on people, I'm joyful, I'm seeking the peace. Peace and joy are my thing. Despite what's really going on, there has to be a level of detachment, like knowing enough to take care of yourself, but then, but not letting the darkness take you down, But we have to know the truth. The fact is we're following biblical prophecy to a T. And the T is the front man for it, right? Right now anyways. Leading us to more of these and AI, transhumanism, taking away what we are as humans. Who wants that? I mean, honestly, who wants that? We can't afford to be in denial about it. We have to face it at least enough so we take care of ourselves, And like with T's terrible tariffs, I wrote many of you and said, do we go out and stock up? Not panic buy. We should never panic buy. We should always be building our reserves because our food supply is so vulnerable. And here's a perfect example. After that situation, and I did stock up more, okay? I went to my, I go to a health food store, every independently owned, every week. That's where I get 99.9% of my food. And I get there, and all the greens, the produce, especially the greens, there was hardly anything. And I'm like, I've never seen it like that. And turns out that the distributing company, Unfi or Unify, I'm not sure, it's like UNFI, I think, that distributes for Whole Foods, all the way from Whole Foods down to the little independent stores, including this one, was cyber attacked. And so for 2 weeks, we didn't have trucks coming out, and which I don't know affected you, but it sure affected us over here. Again, an example of how fragile our food supply is. And that's just one example, one way it is, So that's why you want to be prepared, have plenty on hand of all essentials, water, everything. I also especially pick and choose when I go out. If it's foggy, I go back home. And this happened just a couple weeks ago, I think it was, where I, went for my morning walk and drove over to the water. And it's like this thick fog, and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm gonna go home. And I kept feeling, just keep going. Cleared, and then this abrupt new set of fog, and you couldn't see the ocean. And the last time we had it really bad, so many people I know got really sick, and there's proof of what they put in there. It's not, what they're spraying. It's horrible, So it's like I'm not getting out of the car, but of course, getting in and out of the car, I had to roll down. It was so humid that I had to roll the windows up and down once. So when I got home, by the time I got home, I could feel a little bit in my throat. My eyes were slightly burning, and I'm like, okay. Now, whenever I feel a touch of anything, I've been doing this for many years, get right on the preventatives, and it almost always knocks it out. I rarely get sick. So that's what I did, and I was fine. I was absolutely fine. But we have to take precautions. I don't go I don't go around big crowds. Um, I just don't. I don't want to be around big crowds. I had 4th of July plans, but I'm not going. I just feel not to go. I'm just following my gut. You know, our intuition is, our intuition is way more important than common sense right now, because we're not in a time of common sense. Oh my gosh, is that validation? My goodness. Um, so, um, you know, I wrote about this when I was in Hawaii and felt that really strongly, but way more so now, because we are deceived so severely that we need to trust our gut over everything, over everyone. Everything I share here is my opinion. What do you feel? What is your gut telling you? What are the messages you're receiving from the highest of the high? Just make sure it's from a good place. As I've talked about many times, so many people deceive because they're not getting information from the real deal. So what information are you receiving? Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anyone. Listen to your own gut. You know, we learn from each other, but ultimately it's what we feel inside. What is in our hearts? What is our hearts telling us? I think about the new earth a whole lot, you know, and how we're going to get there and what the experience will be like. And just ponder over it. I have no fear, only excitement, truly. I feel so excited about that more than anything. I don't want to be here when when they're going to have us all jabbed up in these cities and all this stuff. I don't want that. Do you? But I trust God. I trust God. And here's the message. Oh my gosh, that I've been wanting to share for a long time. I shared that my most important sign, or my best sign ever, I think I called it, in a 2-minute video about when I was just in such despair. God, help me, help me, help me. The worst pain ever, that I've been dealing with for years. I can't do this. And just when I'm crying and everything, and I just came to a traffic light, and the car in front of me had the Trust God license plate. Most of you know that sign. But what you may not have noticed, and I even put that license plate at the end of my last video, and I was wondering if someone was going to say something. No one has ever about it. But if you look around the border, look at what it says. In case of rapture, vehicle will be unoccupied. Here's my best sign ever, and it says that. So of all times to see this incredible license plate that was like life-changing, because it shifted everything for me, I see this rapture message. Incredible. Plus it said believe on the side of the car, believe. Is that like dropped from heaven or what? Like, never saw that plate since. It's all about trusting God that He's got us. God has got us. And to just stay really close, keep developing that relationship. I've been proving my relationship all the time. To trust God, to keep walking with Him through these times, make right with God, and we'll get through this. It'll be amazing when we get onto the other side of this. But that sign was the best, and I still hold it so close in my heart. May we keep seeking the truth of these times because it reduces suffering and worse. We have to know the truth, whether we like it or not. It's part of, we're here for this. We're here for this experience. I feel we're being tested. God's testing us, and, we'll get through it together. Just staying in a state of love and not fear, resisting fear. Fear only is what the dark wants and keeps feeding that machine. We want to, resist the beast system, these things, the AI, the transhumanism, all of it, all the poisoning. Just make really good choices and bring God into everything. Pray, 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 and be in a state of love. It's the best thing we can do. Love to all of you.
island hopping all the time.
Hi. Hello. How are you? Hi, beautiful. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, so beautiful. Look at you.